Alright, hello everyone. What is going on? Nova here. So, I wanted to make a quick review of The Mandalorian and Grogu, as it has just come out a few days ago. So, full disclosure, I just got back from the movie, saw it with my buddy. Again, full disclosure, we did smoke a couple joints before, so if you think that influences my ability to make an unbiased review, then I understand. You may click off now. All right, with that in mind, I'm just going to kind of speak freely about some of the elements of the movie. Some will be spoiler related, some won't be. So I'm just going to categorize this as a full spoiler review because that's essentially what it is. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about elements, different plot points, themes, things of that nature. All right, so that being said, this movie is mostly kind of like I think I would consider it corporate slop, as the title suggests. It's very safe. They don't take many risks. You're essentially watching season 4 of The Mandalorian, the show. There's just some kind of basic side arcs. Nothing too crazy happens, and it's just very safe. Like I said, it's just very focus group tested. Know it's going to make money. Probably minimize the budget by not having to do anything very serious or deep. And yeah, it's just very safe and easy. So that's the first thing I describe it as coming out of the theater. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of cool action sequences in the opening sequence, which I think is it was in trailers and whatnot. It's really cool. But that was one of the coolest parts of the movies of the entire movie, I'd say. And the plot is not very consequential, and the first part of the first plot was, you've seen that one Clone Wars arc where like Anakin and Ahsoka have to like rescue like the Jabba the Hutt relative. It's like a baby and stuff, and it's like, I guess that may be considered a partial spoiler, but that's just like the first part of the plot. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And there's a lot of Hutts are involved in this one for sure. But yeah, again, nothing super revolutionary. So the first thing my buddy and I talked about when we came out of the theater, it was funny. We were talking about it. I was kind of just saying some of the things I just said to you. Plot kind of safe, nothing interesting. Extension of season 4 or season 3. And he was like, dude, it's literally the first half of the movie was the plot of Thor Ragnarok. And I was like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? And he started explaining it, and I was like, oh my god, you're right. It's literally Thor Ragnarok. Thor goes to rescue. All right, these are spoilers, so I'll make a note or something. But in Thor Ragnarok, he goes to this trash planet where he has to rescue the Hulk. Mandalorian has to go rescue this hut. He's fighting and he's held captive by this like greedy, uh, you know, city like lord dude who controls things. He has him in this like arena contest and he's beating everyone up, but he's owned by the dude who runs it and is like a gang leader and stuff. And then the main character, Thor slash Mando, has to one eventually he gets put in the ring with them. He has to fight him, and then they team up and go after the guy and stuff. And it's just like that's a different Disney-owned movie that they just like ripped the plot for again. It's just safe, easy plot. It was probably research group, focus group tested, and they determined that Thor Ragnarok was well received, and you can sneak some of the same elements in there and make it squeaky clean or whatever and good. And it's just very safe and blah and easy, as I keep saying. In terms of the audio slash visual department, I think mostly positive. This is a Star Wars movie, but they use the composer of the TV show soundtracks, which is good for continuity. I think you wouldn't want to randomly have more of a traditional Star Wars score in this kind of movie. So I thought it was good overall. There's this one track I liked a lot called Shikari. I just looked it up, and that's much more of a trappy EDM themed track, but they also kind of blend in orchestral themes from it, so I thought that was pretty good. They used it a few times though, and I was sort of like, all right, kind of starting to, by the second or third listen in the movie, I was like, okay, you guys are kind of overplaying it a little bit. But overall, visuals and audio, pretty solid. And the reason why I say it's corporate slop, I I get part of the Mandalorian. He's fighting these badass creatures and stuff, but how many times are we gonna see Mando 1v1 a CGI monster, and then he fights the monster, it injures him, and then he defeats it or he gets away? It's just I mean I can count like I think at least 8 times it's happened throughout the whole show, and then this is just like a couple more. It just seems so redundant and played out at this point. Yeah, it's just safe content. They know it plays well. It's easy to produce. It doesn't require that much effort to come up with an interesting plot when you just Mando fights another monster, and he gets injured from it. So yeah, again, the theme I'm trying to communicate to you is safe, easy, low effort, low ceiling, but a relatively high floor. It's not going to bomb. It's not going to get bad reviews because they don't take any risks. But so it's a higher floor in that sense, but it's a low ceiling in the sense that they don't take risks. They don't try to do something out of the box or creative. They just they produce what they know is safe and reliable, and kind of sucks for the viewer if you want something that's out of the norm or interesting. But if you want a fun, take the whole family to a cool action movie, it's a perfect movie. You go out, you turn your brain off. Again, I got faded before, so that definitely helped, made it a little more entertaining. But again, if I see it again sober, I'm gonna like it even less. I think that I think I'm giving it a little extra praise because of the J I smoked before. So if I didn't have that, we might be having a different conversation right now. And again, I'm going to add to this review tomorrow. I'm not going to record all the clips for it tonight. But yeah, if I'm saying these things now, I can't imagine what I'm going to be thinking tomorrow with a more clear head. I also I can't help but think about the old days of, I'm not super old, but even The Force Awakens, which I don't think is a good movie. I think that's a ripoff of A New Hope, and that's another example of being lazy. Exactly what I'm talking about now. All that applies to Force Awakens. But anyway, the hype around that movie was huge. And I know this is a spin-off. Excuse me. I know this is a spin-off, and it's not quite as big as a mainline Star Wars movie. But there was just no hype around this movie. Like, I remember when it got announced, I got excited. But I remember I was like, oh yeah, the Mandalorian is coming out. Okay, I guess we'll go see it. I don't know. It's just less cool now because again, Disney buys something, Microsoft buys something, at least the franchise that's beloved. They're gonna find a way to ruin it, and they're gonna use focus group testing and the corporate slop algorithm to create it. And this is what we get. Just kind of safe content that's not very good, but not very bad. It's a 6 out of 10. It's all 6 out of 10 content. And yes, I understand it's Star Wars. Okay, I'm not trying to get some deep philosophical narrative out of everything. I get that, but you can do more than what they did. They played it really safe. I'm not asking for The Godfather or some amazing movie like, that has crazy twists and everything. I'm not asking for that, but I'm asking for a little more than just retreading 2 random side quest arcs from the TV show and then making that a whole movie. The whole movie is one big side quest. The main quest is the side quest, so that's the problem. Is like you're doing one big side quest as a movie, and the plot doesn't really. There's nothing consequential that happens. So my final review score that I've already spoiled is a 6 out of 10 officially for this movie. Not bad, not offensive, you're not going to walk out of the movie theater like actively against the movie, but you're going to forget this movie in a couple days. It's not interesting. You can go watch The Mandalorian season 3 and it's basically this. It's just some different monsters and they throw a Ragnarok's plot into it. So yeah, it gets a 6 out of 10. nothing very substantive, I'd say. It's just very surface level. So again, it's not like a bad time. I get eat a couple edibles or smoke a joint before you go in and watch it if you can. If you don't do that, then I don't know. Good luck. Have fun. Turn your brain off. But yeah, that's my review of this very, very mid movie.